may have missed it. Apologize if I did.
That's okay.
What qualifies someone? Is there a process, an application?
To like,
To be a patient.
oh, okay. They just make a call, and then, like I said, a lot of times, you know, that's the first step. Is it's hard for them to make that call, but if they make a call, then, you know, it's that first 5 seconds that you have that conversation with them to make them feel comfortable to go on and tell you about their life. It's not easy for somebody to make that call, but they know they've had problems in the past. But they'll call, and then we'll just meet them where they're at. Whether that be individuals, whether if they need some groups, whether if they need some education, whatever it is that they got going on, that qualifies. All they got to do is make a call.
Okay, so there's no income or insurance or anything else?
Nope.
Not allowed.
Yep. We're a nonprofit, and we serve everyone. So, and if we can't, we'll find somebody to help them. So.
I have a question for you.
Oh, okay. I have one for you too.
Well, I mean, with the availability now of gambling, just with you 24/7, have you all seen an uptick in that?
Yeah, I'm on the Illinois Council on Problem Gambling Board. So it's just every day, and every day changes, you know, with how they're getting into it and what they're doing. You know, there's a huge conference here on Thursday just to figure out what's going on, the video gaming, and you can't keep up with it. I know my son's a gambler and struggles with it, but he's my educator. I always tell him, okay, what's going on this week? That it's huge. And I mean, it'll destroy your life. So, yeah. Did that answer your question?
It did.
This is actually for both of you. Would monies from professionals with a purpose, would that stay local since you're both obviously wide-ranging in territory?
Yeah, for us, we talked about the training center, just using it so that the community, anybody can come in and use our training center. It would just help with that. That's what we would be using it for.
And yes, it would help continue to support schools like ISU, Normal Community, Normal West, and hopefully growth of more schools. Because I don't think we're in any elementary or middle schools yet in Bloomington Normal. And so yes, for the Friendship Walk that we have, that's specific to this area. So we have like our Champion of the Years in Peoria, and then we're having more Friendship Walks to help grow that for other areas too. Yeah.
Nice.
I had a question for both of you as well. Approximately how many people do you service in the Lee County area?
Gosh, I wouldn't know that. I wouldn't know that answer yet because we've just been open in March. So I know we have a flyer on that table that you guys can all have as well. My information clips, and there's also a flyer one page that how many we serve, you know, all over the United States. So
we have 1,200 kids registered total for Central Illinois right now in our friendship chapters. There's probably, I would narrow that down to about 200, 250 for Bloomington Normal, because that also includes Olympia High School too. There's a chapter there. And then so I'm never a fan of how they do the math of like what that impact and reach is, but they just say to times it by 10 usually, because you know there's people chat with their parents or their teachers or you know, different people in their community. So yeah, there's that hard number, but
Yeah. Sure.
I think right now we have probably 27 people in our program. So that's, you know, our primary mental health is growing. So we have 2 primary mental health counselors. We've been struggling because staff, you know, it's really held us back. Now Peoria facility, they're full staffed, but Bloomington, we've struggled here to try to find staff, you know.
we're
I
also
don't want to work in addictions.
you know, there are 24 people in our jobs program right now. I think it's like 18 of them are actively working, and the other 6 are in development to find that job. And so more funding would mean more people to help find jobs. Yeah.
I have a question about your funding sources. Can each of you share state funding? Is it your events and donors?
You want to go first?
We typically every year do what we call like a gala that we do every year. But as far as, I mean, we take donations, it's on our website. But like here in the community for Gateway, we have not done any grants or anything like that. Peoria is the same way. You know, we haven't done any grants or funding. It was kind of what we wanted to do to start out in the community because we didn't want to take, we wanted to give back. Now in Chicago, they do a little bit more of that, but really typically our annual gala is probably our big funding benefit that we do, and dinner. So.
Yeah, so we have our signature events, our friendship walks, and our champion of the year gala. For the job we're trying to hire in Springfield right now, that was a federal earmark that came through, and so that's a 2-year budget plus. But then everyone's like, well, what are we going to do then? I'm like, well, that's a then problem, so we'll figure it out. So in McLean and Peoria, we work with the care and treatment boards, or essentially 377 boards. Groups like Lifelong Access, EPIC. There are other groups that these tax dollars are designated to support organizations like ours, helping people with disabilities to be more active in the community, to work. So right now we're kind of at a 50-50, but also Giving Tuesday's coming up, end of the year donations. So you'll be seeing a lot of that, I'm sure, here too.
I did forget to tell you that one of our biggest grants that we got was for gambling. We got a huge, when we started our gambling program, insurance doesn't pay for gambling, even though it is on the level of care, and it is in what our DSM Bible that we use to, meet whatever level you are. Gambling's in there, but insurance companies don't recognize it as a problem. So we either have to deny them of treatment, or we have to try to other avenues to try to get them to help, because gamblers don't have money. By the time we get them, they have nothing left, or we're trying to help them keep what they have. So we got a huge grant through the Illinois Department of IDS, and they have given a lot of folks treatment centers, a couple up north with Way Back In that does gambling. But our gambling, if you come to us and you have insurance, we'll see if it'll go through, but if it doesn't, anybody in the state of Illinois gets free gambling treatment, and that's through our grant, which is nice.
I know, Ryan, you kind of mentioned some other ways that we could help outside of a donation, but for you, Sandra, are there ways that our group could help, or what additional ways could we support?
I don't know the answer to that. Maybe I could answer that later, to see what we could do. I just know our training center is something that we wanted to do in this community to help others, because I know I've come in and out of here for years, and it's a lot of money to try to get people together to do an event and have a training center to do that. So that's kind of what our niche was, to help with that.
Do you think maybe getting the word out for that would help?
Yeah, it would. Absolutely.
Are there specific types of events or gatherings that you would hope to see in there, or just?
Yeah, we do several now as trainings for families, individuals, any kind of education trainings. Even though, we live in a virtual world now, and that's what it was set up for, where we could have in-person come in, and we could reach all over the state of Illinois, education about mental health and stigma and access to treatment. We have a lot of presentations that we cover to try to educate. So we do that, and I host a lot. I'm the president of Central Illinois EAP, which is for any EAP companies. So we do a lot of education around that, of what we can offer these EAP counselors, which is all you guys is, if you work for a business, you have EAP services. So we try to educate them on about, substance use and mental health, because it's only 6 sessions that you go and see them. And that's just a Band-Aid. And where do they go from there to try to, further their, wellness? So, Employee Assistance Program, sorry. Acronyms. Everybody's supposed to know them, right? Oh God, I know, me too. When I moved from my son, he's a police officer, and all these acronyms they use, I'm like, gosh, that's as many as substance use treatment.
I want to end on the fact that the disability community made acronyms cool way before we were using social media. Okay.
Even Facebook puts them on there, and I had asked my brother-in-law, what does that mean? And I'm not going to repeat it, but I'm like, really?
Any other questions for the two of them before we wrap up?
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
Okay, thank you guys. So just real quick to wrap up the rest of the year. So in 2 weeks, Monday the 25th, we'll do another Connect and Grow week, which we'll be having Roy back for part 2 of AI. And again, if there's any additional questions that you can think of relating to AI and business or AI in your life that you would like him to answer, shoot those over to us so that we can give him a heads up of what we would like answered. Otherwise, he'll just enlighten us again. But if for those of you who did not hear that whole presentation, we left here like scared. So AI is here. There's nothing we can do about it, basically was the message. And so it's embrace it and see how we can leverage it within our business. But
Yeah, real quick.
Yeah.
If seriously, those questions would really help because we're looking for ways to help empower you with your businesses. Or if you know of those businesses where it's just one person, or the charities that it's really just a one-person show, that's what we're really looking to do, leverage some of these tools. And that just takes a little bit of knowledge and education. So
Yep. And also start thinking about topics for 2025 that you would like to have us cover. If there's a topic you're comfortable covering, we can have you speak. If there's a topic that you heard somebody give a presentation that just wowed you, like we can invite them. Kyle's going to put together kind of a little questionnaire sort of thing here in the next week or two to have you guys jot down some of those things of topics that you might want to hear for 2025 so we can start putting that calendar together. But we're definitely open to suggestions. And then Monday, December 9th, we'll hear from 2 more charities, which will be Oasis Community Outreach, which used to be called the Center for Hope. They just rebranded and now they are going to be the Oasis Community Outreach. And then Habitat for Humanity will also be here on December 9th. And then I bolded, normally we would skip 2 weeks, but that puts us into Christmas week. So we're going to bump that voting week up and have basically the 9th and the 16th. So the 16th will be our voting day. And then we will reconvene in January. So just a note there. I did put together the whole 2025 calendar as well, and it should all be available via that link. Just add it to your calendar. They're also on the website too. So Roy, like I said, will be back. And for those of you who were guests today, if you liked what you saw and want to be a part of what we're doing, we would love to have you. Literally the only commitment is, yes, I will donate $100 each quarter to whoever the group votes on at the end of the quarter. So would love to have you here in person for the meetings, but if you can't make it every single week, that's totally fine as long as you're willing to do that $100 donation. We would love to have you. We do have a Facebook page, website, and email address if you have questions and want to keep in touch. Otherwise, that's it. Questions for me? Questions about the group for those of you who are guests? Anybody have questions? Pretty straightforward. Awesome. Feel free to network. I think we're almost right up at the hour. Yep. Feel free to stick around. There's $7 lunch menu if you're hungry. Otherwise, see you next time.